win and they're in. That's how easy it sounds for the Sunshine Coast Wanderers, but in their way today is the undefeated Peninsula Power, and in this final round of the Football Queensland Premier League regular season, plenty of motivation still for the home side in trying to round out that perfect season. Good afternoon, everyone. It's Rafe Griffin with you in commentary. We're at AJ Kelly Park for round 26 of the Football Queensland Premier League, with Peninsula Power at home to the Sunshine Coast Wanderers. Here we are, round 26. One thing is for certain. That's the only thing that has been determined, and that is Peninsula Power are the inaugural premiers of the Football Queensland Premier League. They'll receive their trophy at the conclusion of this match, but still, the top four has to still shake itself out, and mathematically there are still 5 teams in contention for those 3 remaining spots, as well as the subtext, while improbable, Sunshine Coast Wanderers could still land in second position, as we've taken you through the 2 squad lists for the match this afternoon. Josh Forshey returns to the Sunshine Coast Wanderers bench. Our total tool referee this afternoon is Isidro Tirol Crespo, and he'll be assisted by Emily Hill and Wayne Kuipers. As we keep on saying, we can't do it without sponsors, and Peninsula Power would like to thank their major sponsors in Rate International Freight and Furnix Commercial Furniture. So the 2 skippers out there, Richie Hurlin deputising for Trent McAvoy this afternoon, who's out of the Peninsula squad for today. Nick Arden, the skipper for the Wanderers. Both sides congregating in their final pre-match huddle. Nick Arden going to his squad and giving a few handshakes. Peninsula break from their huddle. Big crowd in this afternoon at AJ Kelly. Tell you more about why that is in just a moment. The final checks are being completed by the 2 assistant referees, and we're not going to be too far away here from a start. Last minute instructions being given out by Aaron Philp on the Peninsula Power bench. Sunshine Coast Wanderers will have first use of possession once we get underway. False start from Tom Strickland, but round 26 of the Football Queensland Premier League gets underway. Our live stream match this weekend at AJ Kelly Park between Peninsula Power and the Sunshine Coast Wanderers. Sunshine Coast Wanderers in the yellow strip, Peninsula Power in their customary blue. Strickland tries to play a ball on for his teammate in Warrellow, but it's Briggs in possession at the moment. Angled across the field there by the Sunshine Coast Wanderers defence, who are playing very defensively in these opening stages. All 10 players, 11 players behind the ball when Peninsula were in possession just then. Knocked away by Schultz on that far side. So it is first versus third coming into this match, but if you have been following the FQPL, you'll know anything is still possible with the later kickoffs this evening, and we'll take you through all those permutations as this match continues. Boyd for Power, bringing it into the attacking half. Once again, plenty of numbers behind the ball for the Wanderers when Power in attack. So it looks like the tactics are going to be very defensive from the Sunshine Coast Wanderers and try and hit Power on the counter-attack. It certainly seems the intentions early on. Getting to the ball first was Fuller for the Wanderers. Strickland squeezes between the two defenders. Unfairly defended against, in the opinion of the referee, Isidro Tirol Crespo. Sunshine Coast Wanderers are certainly showing early doors that they're not going to be intimidated by Peninsula Power. Hurlin. All the way back for Boyd. Sun setting in the west, momentarily getting into our eyes on the camera platform. In 5 or so minutes, that won't be an issue at all. Hurlin. Briggs sizes up his opponent, gets around Morse. And unsuccessfully not able to link up with Josh Woolley. So it is the Wanderers that try to hit on the counter. Plummer rescues the situation for the hosts. Searching ball out on that far side for Warrilow. Too far for him. So yes, Peninsula in first position. They are the premiers. That'll be confirmed in around about a couple of hours' time. 22 wins, 1 draw. The only side to have taken points from them this season were Logan Lightning. Here at AJ Kelly Park, no losses. And they won't be looking to blot their copybook here today. 104 goals for and just the 17 against. So good at both ends of the park. The leader in terms of goals scored and the least goals conceded. And surely Jake Reesby is the man that will pick up the clean sheet or the safe hands award in the FQPL with the most clean sheets this season. And it's Woolley. Once again, it was Warrilow on that far side. The Wanderers, after that victory last weekend, it leapt them into third on the FQPL table, but they could finish anywhere as low as 5th and totally miss the finals depending upon other results this evening. 13 wins, 5 draws and 5 losses. 55 goals for and the second best defence with 23 goals conceded this year. Currently on a 7-match unbeaten streak. And will need to make that 8 to have any shot of making the finals. Well, that's in theory. They would lost today and destiny would pretty much be taken out of their hands, and they'd have to wait to see what Logan and South can do later on this evening. Searching ball for Briggs. Once again, he shapes up against Morse, the youngster, equal to the task against the leading goal scorer for Peninsula Power this year. Junior. Boyd. And Plummer. Hurlin. Cut out there by Fuller. As always, we'd love to know your thoughts on this game, on the FQPL in particular, and how you think the top 4 will shape out by about 9:15 this evening. Let us know on the comments on the Facebook post for the live stream. Warrilow. Looks to be Woolley in possession. Strickland. And And referee initially playing advantage, but there's been a free kick at the edge of the box that will be awarded to Tom Strickland. So first free kick in attacking position this afternoon, and it will come Peninsula Power's way. Richie Hurlin off the left peg, you'd fancy. Wanderers retiring the required distance in the wall. Denver Crickmore just shaping up how he wants that to be formed. Free kick is taken onto the upright, and it's been cleaned up by Ramon Close, it looks like. So Peninsula Power have struck first 7 minutes in for a 1-0 lead. Richie Hurlin's free kick wasn't too far away from home, rebounding off the upright, and Peninsula Power clean up the scraps. And at the moment, it looks like it's going to be a successful party. So 1-0 Peninsula's way on the live ladder. That would now take them to 70 points. East currently sits second on 47. Sunshine Coast Wanderers in third on 44. South fourth on 43. On goal difference over Logan Lightning, also on 43. And Rochedale are the outsiders at 40, and need an absolute miracle for them to finish in the top four. Meanwhile, it's Lynch for the Wanderers, and you'll probably get a corner out of this. Not a bad result for the Wanderers, who was sparked up after that initial goal was conceded. We'll get back and confirm that goal scorer in just a moment. And confirming it was Ramon Close on 7 minutes. His 11th goal of the season for Peninsula Power. Reesby uncontested, easy collect. Sure hands of Jake Reesby sends this clearance long. Ramon Close, of course, started off the season in the NPL at Olympic. Just the one game, I think. And a free kick will go Peninsula's way. Briggs fouled at the edge of the area by Walkingshaw. So Briggs will line this one up. Helen is the one retrieving it.
Go back over to Mum. Stay over at Mum. Back over to Mum.
Briggs and Hurlin presenting themselves as options. Four in the wall for the Wanderers. Right foot option will be Briggs, left foot option will be Hurlin. Just going to provide some confusion here for the defenders. And who might be the absolute option? Let's see. Hurlin takes it, trying to curl it into the top left corner. Unsuccessful in doing so, blazed over the bar. Last time they met, we had that game on the live stream on the Football Queensland Facebook page and YouTube channels. Peninsula opened up the early lead through Ollie Smith in the 3rd minute. But it was Taylor Walkingshaw who levelled right on the stroke of half-time for the Wanderers. 1-1 at half-time. And then Tommy Strickland in stoppage time broke the hearts of the Wanderers supporters, scoring the late winner for Peninsula Power in a 2-1 win against the Sunshine Coast Wanderers. He certainly gave Peninsula a bit of a fright back in round 13. Briggs, wrong foot's Walkingshaw. Still continuing. Cuts back for Strickland. Pass it away from the ball. The deflection goes towards the Peninsula attacking goal. Close was there. So too is Strickland, who has the ball. Hurlin lays one along the ground for Strickland. Hurlin once more. Defence coming in from Fuller. Made on by Plummer. Cunha. And Reesby all the way at the back for Peninsula Power. Slices one through the channel between the two Wanderers players in Lynch and Scarf. Scarf riding a bit of a tightrope here today, currently sitting on 4 yellow cards. 5 yellow cards. Earns a 1-week suspension. If the Wanderers are to make the finals, they wouldn't want to be without the influential Michael Scarf. So just a reminder of the other games being played in the FQPL today. They're all being played today to round out round 26 at the moment. Wide Bay Buccaneers searching for their first competition point of the season at home at the Martins Oval in Bundaberg against Southside Eagles. Surely the Buccaneers deserve at least 1 point out of the season, but Southside Eagles been plucky in the last rounds of the competition, providing some nuisance value to more fancy teams further up the ladder. A few changes happening at Southside Eagles, so the players will probably be up for today's game. Later on, 6 p.m. kickoff. Logan Lightning, their finals hope still alive. They must beat Middleton, you'd fancy, to have a chance. Oakdale Rovers need a miracle when they go out to Ipswich Knights. Go through some of those permutations in a moment. Capella Bar-Anise, that also has some sort of implications, if unlikely. And the final game kicking off at 7:15. All could come down to this to decide who will be in the top 4, with Souths hosting Wolves. Holland Park Hawks completed their season last week, having the bye in round 26. Chat between Sidro Terrell Crespo and Ramon Close, just checking his welfare. Just slightly limping Ramon Close, but looks like he'll be able to run it out. You wouldn't want to pick up a knock on the verge of the finals. And that no trouble there for Reesby after Jeremy Stewart's shot, who broke a 7-match goal drought last week in scoring in the Wanderers' victory against Logan up in Ballinger Park and Budrum. Might be able to hear through the effects Matt Chandler barking out the instructions to his Sunshine Coast Wanderers. We'll keep you up to date with any of those scores that take place while we're on air. We only give you the half-time scores from Logan and Mitchelton, and the flag will up. This goal will be chalked off against Ben Lynch. The referee having a chat to Kobe Fuller, saying cut out the comments back to the assistant. Tight call goes against the Wanderers on that occasion.
We've got to get control of the middle.
Yeah, good crowd on hand, particularly on the veranda on the far side. It's the traditional old boys game here at AJ Kelly. Peninsula Power formed in 2000, a combination of two existing clubs from the Peninsula in Redcliffe City and Margate, and every year since 2013. The old boys from both those clubs have been getting together and having a kick around in the match prior to the kickoff of the main game. And Redcliffe City can claim the bragging rights this year, claiming a 2-1 victory over Margate in that old boys game. Plenty of talk out there, isn't there? You can tell that everything is at stake in this match, particularly for the Wanderers. Winning the header was Walkinshaw, Strickland. Good thinking to pick out Warrilow. Close. Has to do a little bit of a pirouette. Still retains possession. Flag this time goes up against Peninsula Power. Fancy it's Jimmy Fairgrieve on that far side. Plenty of shouts. Referee again keeps the whistle by his side. In their half, the Wanderers. Played on quickly by Dwyer. Ross comes in from the left, defended away by Plummer. There's Power. Break on the attack here through Briggs. Now it's Woolley. Woolley now inside the area. Gets to the byline, attempted across. Hasn't been kept in on that far side, it has. So they're still alive here. It's coming back to Woolley. Lofted towards the back post. It's a bit spongy in that penalty area, particularly inside the 6-yard box, down that left-hand side of the pitch. That's why you might be seeing some of those lofted balls into the area. Good to see you all watching on this afternoon, including Karen Tate. Glad you made the decision to go with us, Karen, rather than the Bledisloe. Pete Cabassi. I think I've recovered from that dig you gave me to the ribs last week when South scored their third goal. Father of Jack, who playing for South, who are well and truly in the figuring for the finals. Goal kick coming from Crickmore. "20 minutes in, if you have just joined us. Peninsula Power have a 1-0 lead, courtesy of Ramon Close mopping up a Richie Hurlin free kick that landed onto the upright, and Ramon Close there to pick up the scraps and score Peninsula's goal. Looking to keep that undefeated season alive and still have another 70 minutes in which to keep that record intact. Hurlin. Plummer. Briggs. Hassled there by Tyler Morris, who fell early to Dean Briggs, but since then has been relatively strong against the Englishman.
Track our runners. Midfield, find our runners.
Von Hoff will be the man for the Wanderers to take the resulting free kick. Crowd of players waiting at the edge of the 18-yard. It's flicked on by the Wanderers skipper Nick Arden. And eventually picked up by Reesby. Big throw out for Warrilow. Close. 3 Wanderers defenders immediately come to him. Junior chimes in. Hurley. Woolley and Briggs. Space for Boyd to operate in, just allows that to play off the chest and then brought down to his feet. Looks to be Warrilow. It is. Scarf with the defending there for the Wanderers. High cross in towards the back post. Briggs nods on, and they've hit the woodwork again. Saved by Crickmore. Third time lucky perhaps for Peninsula. But Strickland skies it over the bar. They came oh so close again. Briggs down in the background here for Peninsula, and the physio will be caught onto the pitch. Well, while the outdoor season is about to be completed, the football doesn't finish. Futsal, the South East Queensland Premier Futsal League, starts at the end of September. 6 teams competing in men's and women's. You can catch those games, as I said, from around about the end of September. You're still looking for your football fix through the summer season. And while this break and play is occurring, a reminder that we're still continuing with live streams this evening. After we're done here, Super Saturday continues from the Corporate Travel Management Stadium. NPL action with Simon Smale joining you for Brisbane City and Western Pride, kicking off at 7 o'clock on the Football Queensland Facebook page and YouTube channel. Once we're done here, keep on getting your football fix, and I'm sure Simon will also keep you up to date with what's going on around the grounds in the FQPL and try and map out that finals picture for you as well. And let's take you through some of those permutations. Well, basically, as I said before, Sunshine Coast Wanderers win, they're in. If they can't get the win, then they're reliant on what happens in the Logan versus Mitchelton game and the South versus Wolves game. Basically, they would need both of those teams to lose. If they were to have lost Sunshine Coast Wanderers to qualify for the top 4. So we get play restarted once again through Denver Crickmore's goal kick. Souths win, they're in. Pretty simple equation, unless something happens if Logan win as well. And the Wanderers win. And South's goal difference falters, but handy 6-1 win against Eastern Suburbs last week certainly helped their goal difference cause South United. They are in the fortunate position that they are the final game to kick off tonight, so by half-time of their game, they'll know exactly what they'll need to do in order to finish in the top 4. As Dean Briggs makes his way back to the halfway line on this near touchline, we'll re-enter the action very shortly. Just being given some final instructions from Peninsula coach Aaron Philp. Flicked on by Lynch as Briggs re-enters the field, and we're back to 11 on 11. Logan sitting 5th at the moment.
Try and keep it warm, Briggsy.
They need to win, basically, to have some surety. If the result stands here at the moment, that would be good enough for Logan to make it into the top 4. If the the Wanderers can pull this one back, then Logan would require a win basically and require South to slip up. Is there a free kick? No, said the referee. He's going to bring it back, however. It's been quite a physical game so far. Hurlin, the latest player to go down for Peninsula. And the other improbable finals entrant could be Rochdale Rovers, but they would need to win, have Souths and Logan lose, and somehow try and make up a differential of 20 in goal difference. Can't see that happening, but stranger things have happened in football. Very, very, very unlikely. But in theory, Rochdale still in contention of a final spot, but they've all but virtually ruled out their chances amongst the club anyway. Bit of gamesmanship, firstly from Kobe Fuller of the Wanderers, and then Richie Hurlin for Peninsula. And the other theoretical thing that could happen is that Sunshine Coast Wanderers mathematically still in contention to finish second and be promoted to the NPL, but they would need to win this game, have East lose their game against Capella Bar, and the goal difference from East is plus 44 as opposed to plus 32 from Sunshine Coast Wanderers. Still those big tackles come in now. There's a Wanderers player down in the background, clutching at the right leg. Plumbers being encouraged to kick the ball out, and now this Wanderers player will be attended to. And there's some quizzical looks with Josh Woolley being booked. Getting back to his feet. Here's Leon Dwyer for the Wanderers. So the ball will be given back here to Peninsula after the restart. It's the centre back, Matt Boyd.
Early, Richie.
Boyd. Fairgrieve. He's been upended, has he? Yes, he has, says the referee. Free kick on that far touchline. And a player being brought out here by referee Isidro Terrell Crespo. It's Josh Woolley, who has just been booked. Still querying why he picked up the yellow ticket. Already being booked, he doesn't want to find himself in any further trouble and earn the eye of the referee. Not only would Levy sign with 10 men for the remainder of this game, but would then be out for a semi-final next weekend. So we're going to have all the semi-finals for you next weekend on the Facebook of Football Queensland and the YouTube channel. All 6 semi-finals from across the NPL, NPLW and FQPL will be covered. One thing we know in the FQPL is that we'll be back here next weekend at some stage, with Peninsula taking on the 4th place team. And barring a major catastrophe or calamity, East at home at Heath Park to the 3rd place finisher. Whether that be the Wanderers, Souths or Logan, we've still got another few hours to find out who that will be. So keep your eye on the social media channels of Football Queensland during the week, as well as footballqueensland.com.au to keep up to date with all the scheduling, the semi-finals next weekend. As I said, all 6 from across the 3 leagues, being streamed on the various Facebook and YouTube channels of Football Queensland. Football takes this free kick quickly. It's going to escape Plummer. Fuller's the man for the Wanderers. Cannons off Plummer and out for a corner here for the Wanderers. We've ticked past the 30-minute stage of this match. Let's see if we can pick up a score in the game that's currently in progress between the Buccaneers and Southside Eagles. Corner whipped in towards the spot. Walkinshaw attempted the flick towards goal. Nodded on. Oh, it's into the top of the crossbar, was it, or did it hit the top of the net? Well, Plummer, sorry, I should say Reesby's pulled off a remarkable save there to deny a goal to the Wanderers. That'll be in the saves of the month contenders, you'd think. Thought I did see the top of that net ripple though, but perhaps it was just as a result of the ball clattering into the underside of the crossbar. So the Wanderers oh so close to finding an equaliser. But it's ended up at the other end for Peninsula Power in the form of a corner. It has come off the underside of the crossbar and then angled back towards the field of play. Crickmore missed it. And he's overruled. Initially pointing to the goal kick was Izzy Crespo. Then points out to this near touchline for a corner from the other side for Peninsula Power. So both sides with gilt-edged chances. Another corner here for Peninsula. Kids racing over to deliver it to Dean Briggs. Here's the corner from Briggs, near post is the way this time. We played back out to the corner taker and Briggs by Strickland. Sizes up the Wanderers skipper in Arden. Woolley off the left peg, punched away by Crickmore. Cunha tries to blast through the pack. Now it's Strickland. Strickland with the turn and completes the movement for Peninsula Power. And Tommy Strickland on 35 minutes has doubled Peninsula's lead. The whistle's being blown. There's a Wanderers player down in Ray Schultz. But a crowded pack. Crickmore had come off his line. He was still deep outside the 6-yard box. Peninsula trying to navigate their way to goal, and it was Tom Strickland who was successful in being able to do so in the end. So 10 minutes from the half-time break. And Peninsula have doubled their lead, going out to 2-0. And this undefeated season looks like it will be complete in around about an hour or so's time. And the Wanderers' finals hopes now pretty much out of their hands if this score line remains. And they'll have to see what Souths and Logan can do later on this evening. But we'll keep you up to date with all those permutations as this match continues. So we're back ready to go again. Been putting in some magnificent efforts over the past 7 matches, have the Wanderers, but as pretty much everyone, except for Logan, who were able to claim a point here earlier in the season, Peninsula just at the moment are in a league of their own, and they are very difficult to break down. The goals have been spread around too. All the outfield players in the starting 11 have scored at least 1 goal this season. Only man as you'd expect not to have scored is Jake Reesby. Hill falls backwards. Momentarily thought about going down the line in search of Briggs. Yes, Jordan Wells, I think the quest for promotion by the Wanderers now out of the realms of possibility, unless something miraculous can happen in this second half when it comes our way. A couple of people touching on the golden boot. I was going to say that for later. I might go through that now. So it looks like in the FQPL, Uil Scholl will wrap up the golden boot from Eastern Suburbs with 31 goals scored so far. His compatriot Geordie Farina with 23. Amazingly, Marek Medell sitting in 3rd position after leaving mid-season to go to Lions on 23. Come back to him in a moment as well. Dean Briggs here at Peninsula Power on 20 goals. Punched away there by Reesby. Now they're able to clear Peninsula Power with Close off to the races. Just slipped past the Peninsula Power players. Lynch for the Wanderers. And a free kick will go Lynch's way to relieve some pressure. Just continuing on in that golden boot race. Alejandro Martinez from Wolves rounds out the top 5 with 19 goals. Been on fire in the second half of the season. Then Enjoy from Rosedale also on 19 goals. Stuart Edgar from Capella 19 goals as well. And then it's Kobe Fuller, 16. Kato Aochi on 15. And then there's 4 players on 14 in equal 10th position on the FQPL leading scorer stakes. So congratulations to Uil Scholl, who will no doubt go on to officially claim that crown later on this evening. Part of that lethal front third for Eastern Suburbs. Just going back to Marek Medell, still sitting in 3rd position on the FQPL table despite not having played for the best part of the second half of the season in the FQPL after the shift to Lions mid-season. Hat-trick again for Marek last night in Lions' final regular season game, a 4-0 win against Redlands, taking his tally to 18 goals in 13 games in the NPL. And that's 41 overall across both leagues for the season. Just goes to show why the Mariners, the Central Coast Mariners, had an eye on him. It's unbelievable to think that Dylan Wenzel Halls will probably end up being the NPL Golden Boot, despite basically playing half a season for Western Pride. So we're under 4 minutes to half-time in this one. Briggs elected not to go too close. Warrilow inside the area, taking a deflection and drifts out for a corner to Peninsula Power. So in comes the corner. It's high, long. Cunha. Peninsula forced to retreat. Back to Strickland. Helping out in defence with Boyd and Plummer pushing up from that set play. Peninsula just happy to knock around and keep possession. Cunha's into a bit of space on this left-hand side. So too is Briggs. Up against his opposite number 7 in Von Hoff. What little magic can Briggsy conjure up there. Oh, great little back heel by Close. Would have been a wonderful assist had Strickland been able to score his second of the evening. It just steers it wide of that left upright. Under 2 to play. We'll probably have quite a deal of stoppage time in this first half, with physio being called out from either side 3 or 4 times. Cunha comes up against Scarf. Neither a winner in that contest. Von Hoff turns it straight back to Peninsula Power. Hurlin. Composure. Lynch is like a terrier, trying to hassle Peninsula Power's defence as they try and escape.
Richie, don't ball watch.
So can Wanderers find a goal here before the break to breathe some life into their hopes for the finals? Will there be a Wanderer here to meet it? Shouts for a penalty, waved away by Izzy Crespo, with Taylor Walkingshaw making it into the box there. No real complaints from the Sunshine Coast Wanderers man. Has a few words to Daniel Cunha on the way through, however. Good call by Isidro Tirol Crespo. He'll be under some pressure out there this evening, given what's on line in this game tonight. So 45 minutes completed. We're now into stoppage time. I suggest we might get as much as 3 minutes. A corner late in this first half for the Wanderers.
Let's defend it. Josh, just send one up. Just sitting there. Josh, tough one. Just sitting there. Talk and see. Get ready to scramble to the edge of the box, Josh. Hey? Yeah, just sit there. Just sit there.
Here comes Von Hoff's corner. Towards goal, and a corner immediately ruled by the referee. So Peninsula having to withstand some late pressure from the Wanderers in this first half. Corner, it's low, near post this time. And the referee blows an end to proceedings in this first half. It was Peninsula Power via Ramon Close that opened the scoring in the 7th minute. That was added to by Tom Strickland 10 minutes from the halftime break. At halftime here at AJ Kelly Park in this round 26 Football Queensland Premier League match, it's Peninsula Power 2 who have a lead over Sunshine Coast Wanderers 0. Players off to the sheds to have their halftime talks. We're going to take a bit of a break and we'll be with you on the other side of halftime. It's Peninsula 2, the Sunshine Coast Wanderers 0.
I could watch them all day, even though here, you don't feel like you need to. These are the moments I'll remember. You see, to me, it's not so much just having us all together, but finding a place that really brings us together. That's what makes Oaks Oasis special. When you only get a few chances, it's important to make them count. After all, memories don't make themselves.
Football is my favourite. I love playing it with my friends.
When I score a goal, I celebrate and dream of playing for the Celtic Socceroos.
And this is where it all starts, with the Aldi Mini-Roos kick-off program. I grab my shin pads, boot bag, drink bottle and bowl, then join my mates for some fun.
It's great. We learn new skills every week through games and activities. These help us learn about teamwork and respect for others.
My mum cheers me on the sidelines. She loves watching me play. She likes it that football is such a safe sport.
But best of all,
we make lots of new friends.
And if we are lucky, we might run into the Aldi Mini-Roos ambassadors.
Wow, it's Archie Thompson, he's a legend. And Steph Natley from the Westfield Matildas, she is amazing. Come and join Australia's biggest football program for kids. Come and join us.
We swear a lot at Total Tools. We swear by our range. We swear by our service. And of course, we swear by our prices. So you'll know that you're buying at the best price every day. Total Tools. Every tool, every trade.
Today.
I could watch them all day. Even though here, you don't feel like you need to. These are the moments I'll remember. You see, to me, it's not so much just having us all together, but finding a place that really brings us together. That's what makes Oaks Oasis special. When you only get a few chances, it's important to make them count. After all, memories don't make themselves.
Football is my favourite. I love playing it with my friends.
When I score a goal, I celebrate and dream of playing for the Caltex Socceroos.
And this is where it all starts, with the Aldi Mini-Roos kick-off program. I grab my shin pads, boot bag, drink bottle and bowl, then join my mates for some fun.
It's great. We learn new skills every week through games and activities. These help us learn about teamwork and respect for others.
My mum cheers me on the sidelines. She loves watching me play. She likes it that football is such a safe sport.
But best of all,
we make lots of new friends.
And if we are lucky, we might run into the Aldi Mini-Roos ambassadors.
Wow, it's Archie Thompson, he's a legend. And Steph Natley from the Westfield Matildas, she is amazing. Come and join Australia's biggest football program for kids. Come and join us.
We swear a lot at Total Tools. We swear by our range. We swear by our service. And of course, we swear by our prices. So you'll know that you're buying at the best price every day. Total Tools. Every tool, every trade.
So we're back at AJ Kelly Park, second half of round 26 from the Football Queensland Premier League. And Peninsula Power lead 2-0 at the break. And Matt Chandler readying two changes at the sideline on halfway for this second half. Joel Quacko and James Verdon will be making their entrance onto the park. Sidro Toronto Crispo having a chat to the Peninsula bench. And not enough officials listed on the team sheet, or too many officials listed on the team sheet, so I think it's the goalkeeper coach that will be asked to stand behind the fence in the second half. On come Joel Quacko and James Verdon for the Wanderers. I'll try and pick up who they have replaced. Ray Schultz is out there. Jeremy Stewart might be one. Anyway, we're underway in this second half at AJ Kelly Park. Peninsula 2 lead the Wanderers 0. And we'll take a look around the ground very shortly. Flag will go up against the Peninsula player. While I try and work out who is not out there for the Wanderers. I think Jeremy Stewart is definitely one. That's confirmed, so he will play no part in the second half after the replacements made by Matt Chandler at half-time. Lynch blazes over the bar from around about 8 metres. I think Kobe Fuller might be the other player out of the equation for the Wanderers. 11 and the 12. I don't think have made a re-emergence in this second period.
Just get off the main.
Lynch. There's an NPL game in progress up in Toowoomba. 47 minutes in, and Southwest Queensland Thunder lead Cairns by 3-0 after earlier in the day Sunshine Coast Fire and Gold Coast United playing out a 0-0 draw up on the Sunshine Coast. And we've got a women's game currently in progress in the NPLW. An early goal to Logan Lightning has a 1-0 lead over Mitchell. Not win just yet. That match won't have any bearing on the finals. I think it's all but tidied up now in the NPLW with the Gap claiming the crown last week. A remarkable come-from-behind victory by Lions last night over South will clinch them second. And now it's just between the Raw NTC and South United who have a catch-up game at Sunshine Coast Wanderers on Tuesday night as to who will finish third and who will finish fourth, who will travel to the Gap. The fourth place team in the NPLW, that will be them. That's South at the moment. And in third place in the NPLW is the Raw NTC and look likely to go to Lions next week. Well, Rochedale, they've scored an early goal out at Bundamba for a 1-0 lead against the Ipswich Knights. The other two games between Capalaba and East and Logan and Middleton have kicked off, but scoreless at this stage. So we'll keep an eye out on those. If this result stays the way it is, or Sunshine Coast Wanderers can't grab all 3 points, it will once and finally confirm promotion for Eastern Suburbs and second spot. They'll play in the 2019 NPL. By virtue of their match kicking off, Logan Lightning momentarily moving into 4th spot. But South won't be kicking off until 7:15. Once again, another little bit of a flurry for Isidro Terrell Crespo to rule on.
Was tucking. Was tucking.
Go on, Ray, you're right. Go on, Ray, take him away.
Just pass him on, Was.
Put deep into the box, held by Reesby. Swarlow for the power. Close. Links up with Fairgrave, looping down the right touchline from the right back position.
Dan, make sure we keep winning that middle. We've got to keep winning that middle.
Quacko, distinctive in the long-legged skins.
Go on!
Dwyer. This is Schultz. Driving it long in search of Quacko. And Boyd is deemed to have given away the free kick. He's not happy. Looked to be a 50-50 ball from our position. Daniel Cunha playing defence lawyer. Reesby setting the ball. He'll have 4 in it for the hosts.
Concentrate! Make sure you're competing here!
Von Hoff will be the man for the Wanderers. That will deliver this set piece. Quacko making a bit of a mischief of himself inside the box. Isidro Terrell Crespo just has a quiet word to both sets of players.
Ramon, closer!
Here's Von Hoff. Tries to drive it in low. Goal kick will be the result for Peninsula Power. And Reesby will get every last second out of this second half. The old classic of the goalkeeper switching sides to take the goal kick in. Ooh, Warlow was almost on there. He would have been one-on-one with the keeper had the ball arrived and he was able to get him behind the defence. Meanwhile, it's Fairgrieve playing a square ball. Verdon. Good challenge in from Warlow. Unable to keep the ball from crossing the sideline, however. Schultz puts one high. Height of scarf, most beneficial in that exchange. Cunha. Switch of play that Morse looked to try and attack from defence for the Wanderers and then realised that the Peninsula player would easily beat him to the ball. Quacko. Lynch in a bit of room. Backtracking is Fairgrieve to meet him. Scarf. Dwyer, this will be testing Reesby, who pushes away. Reesby then makes the reaction and save to his left after the shot from Scarf. He came under a bit of pressure. There did Jake Reesby. Was probably a bit of two minds as to whether he should hold on to the ball or punch it away, as to what he did. It put it straight back into the path of the Wanderers, but Scarf unable to test the Peninsula keeper. Away by Reesby. Scarf. Can they pull one back, the Wanderers? They've got 35 minutes in which to keep their finals dreams in their own destiny. Otherwise, they'll cede the advantage to Logan and Souths. Very sharp by Crickmore. Peninsula once again posing a threat on the Wanderers' goal. The old boys on the veranda getting into it. Fives exchange between the Peninsula players.
2v1. 2v1.
Fairgrieve. Morello looked to be an errant cross to start off with. It's turned out okay. Verdon, the substitute. Lynch. Oh, he's probably just taken a fraction too much of a touch there. Will be okay for a corner, however.
Joshy, we need you picking up in the middle for a bit. You're sort of getting higher. You just got to do the defensive work for 5. Josh, if you want to get high,
once again, it's
come out here and let Woz go central.
Von Hoff on corner duty. In towards the edge of the 6-yard box and flying high was Reesby. So around the grounds, it's still 0-0 after 14 minutes between Logan and Mitchelton. Eastern Suburbs have opened up a 1-0 lead against Capella 12 minutes in. So regardless of whatever happens here, the Tigers will finish second if that result keeps maintaining itself. And Ipswich Knights have pulled one back against Rochedale. It's 1-1 there after 17. And in the NPL, still 3-0 the way of the Thunder against Cairns FC. Strikers and Magpies Crusaders is due to have kicked off. We don't have a score there just at the moment.
Remote, watch your line!
Keep attention on the around the grounds in the FQPL as we continue the search for who's going to finish second, third and fourth. Wallow, quick touch for the advantage of Close, who loses out. Lost in the midfield, turnover from Verdon. Pinpoint ball for Close. Strickland couldn't mop up. Now it's Close again. Managed to keep the ball in, however, good effort. Strickland, back post, away by the defender in Morse. In front of the advancing Briggs. Still in their attacking half, Peninsula. The third coming. Calling for it with both arms was Warrello. He's going to go himself from distance. Can hit them from that range. Wasn't to be that time. However, for the man who transferred to Peninsula mid-season from the NPL's Redlands. The announcement coming last night that Graham Fife, the mercurial midfielder, the talisman on so many occasions for Redlands, what a loyal servant he's been to the club over the years, announcing that he's played his final game for for the club. He didn't get to play last night through a niggling injury. But we wish the wee Scotsman all the best for whatever the next step is in his footballing career. Part of that Redlands squad that clinched the 2012 Brisbane Premier League under Matt Chandler, coaching the Sunshine Coast Wanderers this evening. The magic night at Perry Park back in 2016, where Redlands defeated Adelaide United, and can Lions, who were Redlands opponents last night, do a similar thing on Wednesday night at Perry Park? Lions through the round of 16, and of course take on Adelaide United, who will have nightmares of their previous trip to Perry Park, with Redlands winning in extra time. Get along to Perry Park on Wednesday night. Tickets reasonably priced at $10 for adults, $5 for kids, including a bus. If you're out near the Lions Club running from Richlands, you do need to pre-book for that. However, should be a great night on Wednesday night. If you can't make it, watch all the coverage. It's the main game on Fox Sports this week in the second match day of the round of 16 in the FFA Cup. No Merrick Medell, unfortunately, for Lions on Wednesday night after being cup-tied to Holland Park Hawks. This cross high, directed towards close. Let's even escape the netting behind the goal. Might end up out at Anzac Avenue, that one. Well and truly banged over the crossbar.
Tommy, let's get in the ball the next 5. Tommy Strickland.
It's not the end of your football fix on the Football Queensland live stream. A reminder that once we're done here, we'll be taking you out to the Corporate Travel Management Stadium, where Simon Smale will join you for the final round of the NPL. Brisbane City at home to Western Pride. Brisbane City out of the finals race. Western Pride, they need a win in order to keep hopes of a home semi-final alive. If they can't grab the 3 points, they'll finish third and travel to Goodwin Park next week against Olympic. If Olympic can win tomorrow, that'll definitely confirm the second place of the Yeronga-based club. So join Simon from 7 o'clock, pretty much as soon as we're done here. City versus Pride. So Hurlin plays the free kick without the defenders having retired the distance. Wanted to catch the Wanderers off their guard. I think we're about to see Sam Cronin make his entrance for Peninsula Power. Beset by injury this year. It's been a real stop-start season for the former Raw youth man. So we've got half an hour left for Peninsula to clinch an unbeaten season, or for the Wanderers to get back 3 goals here and confirm a place in the top 4. Eastern Suburbs have doubled their lead against Capella Bar 19 minutes gone there at the John Frederick Sports Ground, and Eastern Suburbs now 2-0 leaders over Capalaba. Still 0-0 between Logan and Mitchelton. So what does that mean on the live ladder at the moment? Let's just break momentarily for this Wanderers attack. At Peninsula are able to rescue themselves out of their defensive territory. So on the live ladder at the moment, it's Peninsula on 70 points. East moved to 50. South on 43. Momentarily down to 5th, with the Wanderers and Logan sitting on 44. But that could all change as the night goes on. And we're about to see this change with Sam Cronin coming onto the park, and he'll be replacing Josh Woolley, whose shift is over for the evening. So Sam Cronin going to get the best part of half an hour here for a run. He continues his return from injury. Very casual pose of Jake Reesby, just leaning against the post while that substitution was made. Fairgrave. Still slippery out there. A little bit of moisture out on the pitch, particularly in this area where the ball is at the moment. You'll probably see a few scuff marks, etc. Dwyer and Cronin go at it. Peninsula well in control, as the score line suggests. Crickmore clears away. Aaron Phillip calling for the second ball for his side. Warrellow. To play it to Cunha. Doesn't, goes to Boyd. You can probably see on the shot there, Cunha pointing for the ball to be delivered at his feet. Reesby gets there in the nick of time before Lynch. Thank goodness for the tree. It was heading towards our camera platform. It's ended up in the set of units behind us. Lost quite a number of balls tonight.
Tommy, Sammy, them runners, you've got to be goal side when that ball's coming back. We're losing it there. Options!
Schultz, Skinner along the ground. Strickland for Peninsula. Looks to be Hurlin. Briggs, can he add to his tally of 20? Strickland. Just curious about the possession stats. I haven't had a look at those yet tonight. Luke Murnane, ever the parochial Holland Park Hawk. An undefeated season and promotion is impressive, but I'm sure Briggsy would regard his year at Holland Park as a bigger highlight. Hawkeye's loyal, hey Luke. And a change being made for the Wanderers. Just checking in on that possession stat. It is 61-39 Peninsula's way as James Intignap comes on in jersey 6 to replace Ray Schultz. I'm sure this will result in the Wanderers going to 3 at the back. It's a Peninsula player down on his back. Just a reminder that as I said earlier, the outdoor season may be coming to a close in a couple of weeks, but futsal continues, or starts, with the South East Queensland Futsal Premier League coming your way at the end of September. Keep an eye on the Football Queensland social media channels and website, footballqueensland.com.au. Keep you up to date with all the results and all the news from that particular league. Futsal, it's fun and fast and helps keep fitness for the outdoor players during the summer off-season period. That feature on Samara Christmas from the Sunshine Coast Wanderers on the Football Queensland website. Who are you cheering for? I'm sure the locals down here will be cheering for the Redcliffe base side. Now, is this Ramon Close? Or Daniel Cunin? No, it's Ramon Close, who is limping to the sideline. So Peninsula won't want to see that. He's no good. That's the signal from the physio and Ramon Close. So that'll force a change for Peninsula Power. And it'll be Jordan Dozzy coming on, the mid-season recruit from Mitchelton, in Ramon Close's place. So he'll be straight to the treatment table, Ramon Close, in order to make sure that he's right for the semi-finals next weekend. Dozzy on in jersey 22. Now the Wanderers through Quacko. Von Hoff. Sliding challenge in. And the referee's blown an immediate end to proceedings. Sunshine Coast Wanderers player grasping at the face. Nick Arden and Jordan Dozzy just exchange a bit of a conversation in a low 5. The challenge in from Warrilow. It's just taken a bit of collateral damage against the Wanderers player in Michael Scarf. Good to go, says the physio. He'll have to retreat to the sideline, however, after receiving attention. So the Wanderers go down to 10. No advance on the scores around the ground. It's still 0-0 between Logan and Mitchelton. Eastern Suburbs lead Capella 2-0. And Ipswich Knights and Roadstar 1-0. All those games are around about the half-hour mark gone. Still 3-0 in Toowoomba against Cairns. Thanks for reminding me, Paul, about the Sunshine Coast Wave. That's an aptly named team in the South East Queensland Futsal Premier League.
Right back's going to go. Left back's going to go. Just make sure it's left back.
Free kick going Peninsula's way.
Drop it in. Into the space. Picking up tight. Like that because you won the ball. Excellent work. Great work.
Reesby taking just a few liberties.
Danny. Keep going. Well done.
I think Reesby's had enough. I think he just wants the full-time whistle to be blown in this regular season over. Fairgrieve. Strickland. Dossie got a touch on it. Did it benefit Sam Cronin, who's scored an absolute screamer from just outside the 6-yard area? Well, Dossie, he got the slightest of touches on it for Sam Cronin, and he's blasted from outside the box, the 6-yard box. And Peninsula Power looks set for victory and to make it the 23rd win of the season. What a reward for Sam Cronin, as I said, has been battling injury all year. Great to see him get on the score sheets tonight in spectacular fashion such as that. His 4th goal in an interrupted campaign. And I think we're safe enough now to say that he's have clinched second spot. So congratulations to the Tigers. Promotion to next year's NPL, joining Peninsula. Will it be those two sides that meet in the grand final? They're lining up for more Peninsula. Dossie might be able to get one of his own after providing the assist on the previous one. Sliding challenge in, no effect on Scarf. Calling for it is Dossie. Comes low and short for Briggs. Here's Dossie! It's goal number 4. Peninsula Power on a bit of a rout now. Jordan Dossie makes it goal number 15 for him across both Mitchelton and his now current club, Peninsula Power. And it's going to be a party here at AJ Kelly Park tonight. The celebrations are going to go on long into the evening with the Premiership Trophy being presented in about 15 minutes' time. And now the Wanderers. The finals is now in the hands of other clubs.
And again. Get up, boys, get up!
They still are in 3rd position at the moment, but they're going to have to be looking over their shoulder at what Souths and Logan can do in their matches. If the deadlock remains between Logan Lightning and Mitchelton, that would be good enough for the Wanderers to clinch a finals berth. But Souths and Logan win, the Wanderers will be out. And it is still 0-0 between Logan and Mitchelton after 31 minutes. What an extraordinary inaugural season of the FQPL it's been. While Peninsula basically have dominated the competition from the early doors and clinched the premiership, the remainder of the season has come right down to this final day. Drama going into this evening as to who will be going through to the finals. So we know now that Peninsula Power will be at home next weekend to the 4th place team. Whoever that is, the Wanderers, Souths or Logan. And Eastern Suburbs at home to Heath Park next weekend as well against the 3rd place team. Once again, that combination of Souths, Wanderers and Logan. 2 of those 3 are going in. One of them, their season ends tonight. Eastern Suburbs have gone out to a 3-0 lead now against Capella Bar. 2 close-knit rivals for the Salvation Shield. After Capella Bar came to the aid of the Tigers during the 2011 and 2013 floods. We know that in the NPL, Lions will be hosting Moreton Bay in the first week next week. And it will be Olympic playing Western Pride. It's just the venue that's got to be decided now. Whoever finishes higher in the ladder will host. And in the NPLW, it's the Gap and Lions with home finals. Raw, NTC and South still to determine who will finish in 3rd and 4th and who will be travelling to either the Gap or Lions. As I said earlier, we've got all your semi-final action covered on the Football Queensland live streams. 6 games across the 3 leagues next weekend. I think the order of those games will be announced on Monday, so keep an eye out on the various Football Queensland social media channels and the website for when those semi-finals will be played and venues, dates and times. Nodded onto the top of the net. And Ticknap, I think it was that time. So let's try and take you through some of the ramifications and what could happen as we have just on 10 minutes remaining in this game. So the Sunshine Coast Wanderers will suffer defeat in this game. They will stay on 44 points. A South draw, they would go to 44 as well, but leapfrog Sunshine Coast Wanderers. If Logan can win, they're in. If South can win, they're in. Becomes a little bit more complicated in trying to work out what happens if it's a draw. And if someone draws, if someone wins, etc., etc. But that's the basic thing at the moment. South and Logan win, they're in, based on this result. A draw probably not good enough for Logan unless South drop a whole heap of goal difference against Wolves. So realistically, Logan need to win in their game. If they can't do that, it'll pretty much settle the top 4. South might go into their game or at half time of their game knowing that whatever the result, it may not impact on their ability to make the finals. So we're still not completely sure of what the answers are, but by about 9:15 we'll know exactly what's going on. Four minutes to half time. It's still 0-0 between Logan and Mitchelton out at Cornubia. And a change being made. No, I thought a change was being made. The Peninsula bench was seeking the attention of the assistant, but there's more to clarify how much stoppage time there would be once we get to that part of the half. Yellow card being issued to Jake Reesby for time wasting. Mitchelton also playing Logan in the women this evening, and coming up to half time, it's 1-all. I think Mitchelton are going to finish in 7th position. Logan a little bit lower down the table than that. Hassled there was Warrilow by Von Hoff.
Keep going, boys. Don't worry about it. Come on, second tackle. Help Jimmy. Come on.
Verdon. Angled across the goal. Slides past Lynch. Trying hard, the Wanderers, but just not coming off for them at this present point of time. We're around about 7 minutes plus stoppages away from full time. And Peninsula look like they've still got more in them. He almost pulled the trigger. Did Crone, and he already has scored spectacularly. That wasn't the best of efforts though, however, from that Peninsula player. Building up.
Keep getting behind.
The host, Dozzy.
Don't lose it. Keep playing.
Briggs. Warrilow. He's beaten 2 there. Warrilow couldn't get a shot away himself, or a pass to Dozzy. Okay, steaming down that right wing for the Wanderers, who'll have a corner. Way by Boyd for Power, dominant in the Peninsula defence this year. Up there's one of the more highly rated defenders in Queensland, along with the likes of Marty Simic from Lions. Cronin. That's Cronin, actually. Who was the man who delivered in the ball? It was Strickland. Can they find some consolation? The Wanderers, potentially. Their last 5 minutes of 2018. Cross delivered in. Once again, stout defence from Power. Long range effort. Rebounds everywhere like a bit of pinball. Lynch couldn't get a shot away. And it's deemed to have unfairly challenged a Peninsula player. So what are the other teams this year? Obviously, Wide Bay hasn't been the best year for them. All credit to them, though, for sticking it out for the year. However, their under-13s are doing really well at the moment, so there's some encouragement in the junior ranks. I think those particular age groups sitting up in second position, which is really good. Ipswich Knights, despite sitting 12th and second last with only 3 wins, their year has been a bit better than what that suggests. They've been reasonably competitive, as indicated by their goal difference of what they've got this year. They've been competitive in most of the matches that they've played. Southside Eagles have provided some late nuisance value to some of those teams higher up the table, including Rochdale, who basically had their finals hopes dashed in the end by Southside Eagles. Holland Park Hawks, a bit of mid-season upheaval. We saw that win by Capalaba on Easter Thursday, the 7-2 win by Capalaba against Holland Park, and some dissent in the ranks that led to the departure of coach Fernando Garcia. So the Hawks will be looking for a better year next year in the second version of the FQPL. Wolves have also been a side that's improved late in the second half of this season. Some credible results, and Mark Dykeman will be looking to build on that in 2019, including if he can retain Alejandro Martinez. Capalaba and Mitchelton 8th and 7th respectively. Can probably feel that the middle part of the season was both good for both those clubs. Both almost look like they'd be in with a chance of making the finals, but their campaigns dwindled off towards the end, and probably the big disappointment of the year would be Rochdale. Dozzy rises high, he can't nod into the goal. Yeah, Rochdale, after winning the Flight Centre Brisbane Premier League last year, were in most pundits' thoughts that they would be promoted to the NPL next year. But it turns out they're going to miss the finals altogether as Hurlin clears that one out for a corner. Thanks, Paul. Great to have your support all year, even if it doesn't quite pan out the way you're expecting this evening. Thanks for your support during the year, and thanks for having me at Budrum and Ballinger Park through the year as well. Thanks, Paul, and we might see the Wanderers next week. We might not, but as I said, thanks very much, Paul. Paul Brown from the Sunshine Coast Wanderers has been great all year. Change about to be made for Peninsula Power. Dean Briggs has seen his final action. Quacko into the side netting. It's taken a touch off a Peninsula player, however, on the way through. So we do have half-time at Logan. It's 0-0 between Logan and Mitchelton. That result would not be good enough to get Logan into the semis. And Eastern Suburbs 3-0 against Capalaba. Ipswich Knights 1-1 against Rochdale. And it's full-time in Toowoomba, where the Thunder have defeated Cairns by 5-0. I don't think we have a score from Brisbane Strikers, because I'd say the person that was on duty for that has gone to Perry Park instead of the change to the Cleveland Showgrounds. Might look for other avenues to try and find out where the Brisbane Strikers are at the moment. So the referee blows the full-time whistle. Peninsula complete the undefeated season. They're about to be awarded with the Premiership trophy the Sunshine Coast Wanderers will have to sit and wait for the next couple of hours to learn whether they'll be playing finals football in 2018. Their 7-match unbeaten streak comes to an end at the hands of the premiers in the FQPL for 2018. So here at AJ Kelly, it's Peninsula Power 4 who have defeated Sunshine Coast Wanderers 0. Keep an eye on those other games. Logan versus Mitchelton, South versus Wolves. I'm sure Football Queensland will be across everything that's going on, and we'll give you an up-to-date once full time's happened about who's in the finals. But for the time being, we're going to say goodbye to the regular season of the FQPL. We'll join you for the finals next weekend at AJ Kelly Park. It's Peninsula Power 4, Sunshine Coast Wanderers 0. From behalf of all the team, it's Rafe Griffin saying good evening.